Welcome to this new episode, and today I have my good friend and also neighbor Nishan. And Nishan is famous in Koh Phangan because he is a meditation teacher, and particularly a meditation teacher focused on emotional healing. Is that right?
Yes.
First of all, Nishan, what is your journey up until now?
It's been quite a journey. So I first started to practice meditation in 1998 when I was quite young, and initially had some very beautiful experiences and felt a lot of bliss. Then spent the next few years trying to reproduce that and couldn't. And then it's just been a journey of a lot of learning for myself in monasteries, and then started teaching in 2003. And it's always been volunteering in the background of my studies and my career. And it was only about 4 years ago, for the first time, I started making this into like a not volunteering, a livelihood. And so that's now been my life since the last 4 years, just full-time teaching and my own inner practice.
That's lovely. So everybody is a little bit familiar with the word meditation, but of course meditation comprises different type of practices. How would you explain the type of meditation that you teach?
Right. So my background is Theravada Buddhism. That's the type of Buddhism that's practiced here in Thailand and also my home country, Sri Lanka. And how I would refer to this is kind awareness of the feelings. So it's bringing awareness with softness, acceptance, with kindness into our own feelings. And what I find is that whatever emotions we have, any painful emotions, if it's anger, sadness, fear, when we bring awareness with kindness into the feelings, there's this natural realization that first of all, that it's something unpleasant, and that it is only there because we're holding it. And as soon as we have these realizations, just naturally, there's just like this release. And we can be free from these painful emotions.
That's lovely, and I think if there is a practice that people back home really need, it is a practice of relaxation, let go, and emotional release indeed. I remember I lived in London for a long time, and I was working very hard. And I remember coming at the end of the week on a Friday and really having challenges in terms of unwinding and relaxing. And many of my colleagues and old friends, we just meet and go to the pub and drink beer, That was our relaxation or unwinding practice. I'll say meditation is a lot better, right?
I mean, it's quite natural to want to do this. If we haven't had the experience of how quickly and easily we can let go of the stress and anger and fear just by bringing kind awareness. Because what I find is the majority of people have the experience of like, okay, I come home from my work, I'm really stressed because my colleague said that, and I'm worried I might lose my job and whatever, and my wife is annoying, and etc. And then we come home and it's like, if I were to feel all of this, like if I were to be aware of all of this, like they will try that, and it starts getting worse. It's like I feel stressed, and now if I bring my awareness into my stress, I feel more stressed. And then they decide, okay, as a result, I'm actually gonna just distract myself, have some beer and so on. And what I feel happens in the mind is, so I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling this tension in my chest, for example. We then bring our awareness into this tension, just look at it, and what happens is at that moment there is like a kind of self-judgment and self-anger. I shouldn't be stressed, I should be peaceful, I should have everything together. And as a result, there's like this anger, say for example, it's held in the head. So now I'm looking at this stress in my chest, but with anger in my head. And when I do that, then this gets worse. This is held more, and it gets more painful. And I look at it more, it gets more painful. And then this gets held more because this gets worse, then I'm more angry at it. And so now we have these two big balls of pain, and then we're like, okay, let me get out of here. Instead, if we use some practices to first look at this guy and relax and let this go, this naturally leaves. We can be free. And I've had this experience so many times, like just working with the person within 15 minutes or so, find the points of stress, let it go, it's gone, they're feeling bliss.
And it's just literally bringing the awareness of the mind to it, and then just staying with it and then letting it go.
So there are some practices to make that the awareness is without judgment, or what I call kind awareness.
Kind awareness,
If we bring awareness directly into it, there's a natural human tendency to have judgy awareness or angry awareness.
Yeah.
But there are some practices that I do. You bring your awareness into that, you soften, you take some breaths, you relax. You shift the awareness to somewhere else, to the feeling of the ground at the feet. And then you do some practices on connecting to unconditional love. By that time, the mind is soft and we have some awareness of it. This allows kind awareness, it's gone.
That's perfect, sounds very lovely and sounds quite simple as well,
Really,
right?
yeah.
So it's just a matter of how long does it take you to teach someone this practice, typically, if they want to work with you?
Yeah.
How long it's sort of the minimum?
So on my webpage, there's 2 videos. I mean, there's a whole free course, but in the first 2 videos, there's a 5-minute video explaining the practice, and there's a 15-minute video doing the practice.
Yep.
By the end of that, typically people experience the emotional release.
Perfect, that's so nice. And what is your URL, website?
Kindawareness.life.
I love it. Kindawareness.life. Very nice. Also, I met Nishan a while back because he was teaching in one of the schools here, and he was doing a 2 hours, I think, a meditation practice. And I really enjoyed the practice myself. And then getting to know him, I know he's been very active in Koh Phangan with teacher training courses. To make new meditation teachers, right?
Yeah.
Also, you do workshops, you do retreats.
Yeah.
So you've been very active, and you have a very nice range of different sort of places where you hold space for people, right?
Yeah, it's quite a beautiful community at the moment. So when people come in, we have the people who have learned this practice, who are offering free healing sessions online for anyone who wants to try it out. So just to see how powerful this practice is. So you can do a free healing session. We have a free online course. The entire core of what I'm teaching you can learn for yourself and practice for yourself. And if you like that, you can do a coaching and healing session with me. The deepness, the benefit of that is that I look directly into the energy of each person. So I can like track the energy and help you to see, okay, actually you're storing that there, and maybe that there, I can let that go, and quite effective deep healing. Or we can do the 5-day healing retreat where we get together as a group, support each other. And if you want to go deeper, you can do a teacher training.
Perfect.
And what happens is once you've done a retreat, we then join the Kind Awareness community. So this is a community of people who are supporting each other to continue the spiritual growth and to support other people to learn and heal. So it's a beautiful support in your spiritual journey.
Very nice. And of course, you seem quite a well-traveled international man. How come did you choose Koh Phangan as the place to live?
By mistake.
Having second thoughts.
No, not by mistake, I said, but by coincidence. I had a stomach problem, and somebody said, "Oh, there's this nice detox here," and so I went to one of the detoxes here, and that's how I discovered. And then I went and saw Zen Beach, which is this amazing place where people gather and play music on the sunset, and I fell in love with this place. And yeah, the story goes from there. You know, I was looking at our Facebook group, the Conscious Community, with all the events are listed, and in high season, like January, there are about 100 different healing modalities, therapies or classes in Koh Phangan. It's quite something, right? It's like, it's so interesting. And you meet very inspirational people here, very interesting people with very diverse backgrounds. And of course, Buddhist meditation, I mean,
There's plenty of information. I think there's science as well, looking at Buddhist meditation particularly, seeing that it works very well. And it can even affect your neuroplasticity meditation if you have a regular practice. It can make you better immediately, but then if you do it regularly, you can improve and get better and calmer and more relaxed and happier in your life, right?
Absolutely. The release that happens when we bring kind awareness into our feelings, in my experience, is not just that you feel better in that moment, but like you are lighter. There is like less emotional baggage there. And I've worked with people over years, and I see this real, and for myself as well, like a progression, just happier, average level of happiness. I mean, it's up and down, but average level of happiness increases over time.
You know, if you think people spend so much money on gadgets and cars and things, you know, when they could potentially invest some of their time and focus in having a better life, or being more relaxed, more at peace with themselves, maybe bringing about more harmony in their lifestyle, just with a practice like meditation. I really hope that people will choose, these kind of things over the others more and more and more. But I think that's where the world is going, hopefully.
Yeah, that's happening, and I see that primarily it's just to have the experience that this can work. There's so many practices, and people might have tried different things and said, oh, this doesn't work for me, and so on. But if you can find a practice that works, and you see, wow, you have this hope that I can actually just let go of my emotional planes. I don't need to hold it and find sensory pleasures to suppress my pains. Then, it becomes so easy after that.
Sure. I always say, there are at least two spheres of elements in life, the material and the spiritual. Many people work very hard on the material, and they leave little time and effort for the spiritual, where the spiritual combined with the material can really make you a much happier person, I think. And so if you want to try meditation, look at Nishan's website first, and then come to Koh Phangan and hang out with the man himself. Yay?
Yeah, very welcome to come.
So, well, Nishan, thank you very much for this little interview, and yay!
Thank you, Luca.
No worries.